Everybody say anywhere.
Anywhere.
But backwards.
But backwards.
Say anywhere.
Anywhere.
But backwards.
But backwards.
I sound a little bit more, early in the morning be tough.
But y'all did excellent. You did something around for it to be a Saturday morning and y'all had to stay. Y'all could have possibly been doing a lot of stuff. I'm not stupid. But for it to be that way, I gotta commend y'all men. Y'all were very, as much enthusiasm as you was gonna give me, you gave it to me. And for that, I salute y'all. You're so good. All right, minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crimes. Page 5. Page 5, everybody. Page 5. Let's roll. Like I said, I like to just come here and get straight to business. I ain't about no games. I just came to do what I came to do, and let's go. It's saying how aggressive the disease of addiction or the enemy, whatever you want to call them, the monster, whatever you want to call them, is as aggressive as it is to try to kill us. We have to go back at it just as aggressive. Y'all got that? Everybody say anywhere, but backwards. Minor adjustments is dedicated to preventing and reducing crime. Our primary purpose is to teach men or women how to make the minor adjustments that are necessary in their lives, which will allow them to obtain and maintain a productive lifestyle after incarceration and or rehabilitation. Our motto is anywhere but backwards. Everybody say anywhere but backwards. Say to attain my sobriety is easy.
To attain my sobriety is easy.
Our challenge is to maintain it. To attain our sobriety is easy.
To attain our sobriety is easy.
Our challenge is to maintain it. The word obtain means to come into the possession of something. The word maintain means to keep it in existence. You do not have to go get your sobriety again. You already have that. The challenge is for you to maintain your sobriety. Everybody say, to attain my sobriety is easy.
To attain my sobriety is easy.
My challenge is to maintain it.
To maintain.
I gotta get y'all to see that. Because most individuals put more effort or more emphasis on getting off of drugs. But that's the easy part. And this is how easy it is. If you catch a case and you go to the judge and you say, listen, Your Honor, I'm going to a rehab instead of going to prison. You'll get your sobriety just to stay out of jail. You'll go right into the program and it didn't have your family. Call the court, tell the court, I'm in rehab. But you have your sobriety. But the problem is, after you get out of the rehab, you go back to the drugs. So, obtaining the sobriety, that's the easy part. Maintaining the sobriety is the hard part. Today, this lesson, is about purpose. We're going to be discussing purpose. We're going to take another hour of your time, and I'm going to pour in everything I can possibly pour into you guys. Again, during the course of your day, this book has questions and stuff. You'll see them a lot more. Hopefully y'all read the story about my life and when I was in jail and all that. Is the reason why I put that stuff in there, because not saying that education is not important, because you can learn from someone who have never been in the seat you're sitting in. But the reason why I put what I've been through in there is to let you know I'm just like you. If I did it, guess who else can do it? So I don't want to hear the little, nah, I really can't do it. I don't want to hear that. The same things are out there right now. I tell people all the time, I never forgot how to get high. I never forgot where to get the drugs. The drugs, that stuff is still there. It ain't like when I changed my life, I forgot how to smoke crack cocaine. I remember how to do that. It's just that those things don't match who I see I am today. It's still there. I'm not exempt from what you are exposed to. I walk past it just like you walk past it. But I just made minor adjustments, and I no longer touch those things because it no longer matches my identity. Everybody say, I know who I am.
I know who I am.
That's all you do. Every last one of you. Simply know who you are. You need to make some minor adjustments, but you got to more importantly realize that you have a purpose. I gave everybody a bracelet. My expectation today is everyone here will get down to the core of why they do what they do. Everyone here will get down to the core of why you do what you do. I'll explain that. It says, in order for you to begin the process of allowing your past to push you into your destiny, you must first know that despite all the bad choices and situations and negative things you have done in your past, you still have a purpose for living. Everybody say, I have a purpose.
I have a purpose.
So many people want their lives to have meaning. They want to do the right thing, but are often unsure what that is. You and I were created to do something extraordinary. You have a purpose. Everybody say, I have a purpose.
I have a purpose.
Say, I have a purpose.
I have a purpose.
The reason why I said that everyone will get down to the core of why they do what they do, you can always, I always use things like the bike situation to try to learn about something in my life that I can use. One of the things that you can learn from is inside every apple, there's something greater in the apple. Inside every apple, there's something greater in the apple. But if you peel that apple, take the skin, take it out back, bury it, fertilize it, you won't produce the greatness that's actually in the apple. If you peel that same apple, cut the pieces you can eat, take the pieces you always eat, bury it, fertilize it, put it in some real good soil, you still won't produce the greatness that's actually in the apple. But if you peel that apple, cut through the pieces you can eat, you'll come across the part of the apple that's called the core. Come on, the core. When you break through the core, you get to the seed. That seed represents something that's in you. But if you never break through the core, you'll never discover the greatness that you have inside you. If you think about the seed in the apple, the seed actually produces an apple. Come on, y'all. Y'all got this. Listen to me. Listen to me. Y'all got it. I'm telling you, it's very simple. The seed is inside all of you. But if you never break through the core of why you keep doing what you're doing, you will never discover the greatness that you have inside of you. Everybody say, I have greatness inside of me. Good God, man. Every last one of y'all have greatness in you. But you have to break through the core and get to the seed. Come on, y'all. Yeah. That apple sits, watch this. You ever notice when you was growing up, a teacher always had what on their desk? Come on, y'all. Just like that bike. All of our lives, God said, I've been training you, showing you since you were a kid. I taught you how to ride a bike. That's recovery. I taught you what you had in you. I made teach. Why every teacher got apples, man? I used to sit there. Why every school I go to, these teachers got these apples? It was never an orange. It was always you have greatness. That's why I said my expectation is everybody will get down to the core of why they do what they do. When I found out, I broke through my core. I found out, why did I do drugs, really? Michael, why did you do heroin? Why? I found out that I was actually an insecure man. I talked to women better when I was high. I felt more confident when I was high. So the problem wasn't the drugs. The problem was I was an insecure man. When I broke through the core of my insecurity, let me tell you how I got through it. When I met my wife, when I was coming up, I was insecure about my overbite because I used to suck my thumb. So my teeth wasn't all perfect. So when I would talk to women, I would literally talk like this. Yo, what's up, shorty? How you doing? Wanna go out to dinner? when I met my wife, I was talking to her.
Yo, what's up? You look good, you know. What's up, girl?
So she said, "Take your hand down. You have a beautiful smile."
I married her.
I said, "I ain't never got to worry about being insecure no more. Me and you are getting married." But you see, when she helped me break my insecurity, it had nothing to do with drugs. It was an insecure man. So when I discovered, when I met someone who loved me for what I was insecure about, I no longer had to do, come on, y'all. I said, the first thing I got to do,
We need to get married.
you like this? I love you. But you got to get down to the core. Why you do it? I know you do it, but why do you do it? Why do you keep drinking? Why do you keep smoking? Why? We know what you do. Why do you do it? Get down to the core of why you do it. If you find out why you do it, deal with that. I'm not saying that I wasn't insecure. I'm telling you I was. But when you find out why you do it, deal with the why, and you will eliminate the drug. But if you never, one of the men was talking, and he says, if you never admit that you got the problem, how you going to correct it? And I said, man, that's good. I'm going to give him credit for that today, but when I ain't here, I ain't giving him credit for that. I give him credit today. I ain't promising. I'm using that in my next. They said, where you got that from? Hey, don't be asking questions.
Nah, I give him credit though.
But it made sense. He said, if you're not willing to admit you have a problem, how you going to change it? It's impossible. Everybody say anywhere.
Anywhere.
But back.
Backwards.
So we want to get down to the core of why you do what you do. The word purpose means to set as an aim, an intention, or goal for oneself. The reason for which something exists. The first bullet, all in this book, you're going to see questions. These questions are not for your teacher. These questions are not for your pastor. It's not for the captain. These questions are for you. All of your questions, your answers will be different. But the purpose of writing these questions, or the questions in the book, is for you to see where you are. So it says, who are you? Normally, when you ask someone who they are, they normally tell you, I'm a cook. That's not who you are. That's what you do.
Yeah, I told y'all smart. I'm telling you. The application part is the only process that y'all missing at this point. Because if the only reason you came back here, thank God that you made it back for another opportunity to straighten it out. Because some people are dying, if you're honest. Thank God that you have another opportunity. Right. But more importantly, you have to apply what you already know. I'm just the person that God has blessed to come and stir you up. But you're going to have to apply it. I can motivate you. You're going to have to become dedicated. So that's why when someone leaves or someone comes through the Mind Adjustment Program, and if they go back to what they did, I really don't lose too much sleep. And it's not saying I don't care about you. I'm only responsible to do my assignment. My assignment is to tell you anywhere. And if I don't do nothing else, if I can't say no words, I said that to you, you won't be able to say I didn't tell you, don't go back. And honestly, if you're going into institutions, not every institution, I don't want to trick you, not every institution actually don't want you to come back. You have, in some institutions, some people look at you like their mortgage. I need you to come back. So do you understand that I don't come to places and try to waste my breath because I fight spiritually because I'm going against different institutions who do not want me to tell you not to come back.
Yes, come on.
So the spiritual warfare warfare that I be under every day, I don't have time to play games with politics. I don't have time to play church games. I don't have time to mess around with other women. I don't have time. My purpose is greater than my struggle. So I don't come here to play with anybody, especially in the spiritual realm, because everybody don't want you to stay out. Some of them need you to come back. Everybody say anywhere but backwards.
Anywhere but backwards.
It's not a game. I don't waste breath. God gave me my breath. I'm going to use it. I'm going to maximize what he gave me. Nothing will stop me from performing my purpose. All of y'all are part of my purpose. This particular day was picked out. We didn't know we'll be here this day. Some of us thought we'll be dead by now. I definitely didn't think I'd be up here talking to y'all about nothing about staying up. I had no clue. But since we're together, let's build relationships. I got my card for all of y'all. If y'all want my card, like even after y'all leave here, this is not just about the mindless program. I like relationships. I have people who call me when they get home. Yo, Mike, what's up? What you doing, man? You know, I'm still doing everything. How you doing? Oh, man, I got my license back, man. Me and my wife I need to hear that. So I try to stay connected to all of y'all. I got a 1-800 number. I pay it every month. People be like, man, why you paying for a 1-800 number? 1-800 number. So everybody can call me and they ain't got to worry about if I don't answer, it goes to my wife's phone. So we try to build relationships. Everybody say a relationship.
Relationship.
Because let me tell you what you're going to need when you leave out here. Every last one of y'all going to need. You're going to need someone to give you an opportunity. You're going to need somebody to say, I'm going to give you another chance. Every last one of y'all will need an opportunity. When I left rehab, I started to build my relationship with God. And he told me to go to a church to clean up the church. The first thing I said, how much they paying me? He said, no, do it for free. I said, oh man, I don't know if I'm believing this minor adjustment stuff. We starting off wrong. So I said, I rebuke you, devil, or something. This can't be my God. So you want me to do it for free? He said, do it for free. Check it out. Apple also came out with a new iPad. But before Apple put their image on the iPad, they made sure that everything that the iPad needed to be productive was already in it. Now, I said all that to say this. In the Bible, it says God made us in his image. But before God put his image on you, he made sure that everything that you needed to be successful was already in you. Before God put his image on you, he made sure that everything that you need to succeed was already in you. And before God put his image on you, he made sure that everything that you needed to be productive was already in you. That's what God calls an inside job. Everybody say it's an inside job.
It's an inside job.
Everything you need to be successful in this life is already in you. And everything you need to succeed in this life is already in you. And everything you need to be productive in this life is already in you. It's an inside job. You will not be receiving anything new. If you don't use what you already have, it's your fault, not nobody else's. I told you, you got to break through the core. It is a good class. You got to break through the core to get to the seed. The seed is inside. Just like that iPhone. Apple has an image. They ain't putting their image on stuff that don't work. And we was just talking about this. Normally, when product is produced and they send the product out, if the product, watch this, doesn't perform up to its capabilities, you usually see signs saying what? I ain't saying he called you back if you don't start doing what you said. I'm just saying, when product is not performing up to its capabilities, they usually see papers in Walmart and you say, they calling that back. I don't know. Motivation and the mother of commitment. Purpose is the master of motivation. My motivation comes from my purpose. My purpose is the master of motivation and the mother of commitment. The reason why I stay committed to what I'm doing is because I discover what my purpose is. That's my motivation. The purpose is the master of motivation, and it's the mother of my commitment. It's nothing like a mother. It's nothing, absolutely nothing like a mother. Where do you have to go and what do you have to do for your purpose to be reached? Me, I'm using me. Where I have to go is places like this, prisons, halfway houses, drug programs. That's where I have to go in order for my purpose to be reached. Why? Because God tailor-made me for a particular group of people. Everybody say, stay in your lane. I don't fight with other individuals who I might appear or have a particular thing. I don't covet to go down that path. I simply want to go down the path that he has carved out for me. And once you find whatever it is that you're supposed to do, your purpose, you don't have to compete with anybody. If you stay in your lane, whatever your purpose may be, all of your blessings and everything will come down that lane. Once you just tap into what your purpose is, stay in that lane.